March is Women's History Month, and in Montana, there have been some extraordinary women who've made history.
And tonight we visit Bozeman to sit down with the first woman president at Montana State University.
The sun shines on the campus of Montana State University. Spring break, the campus void of the typical crowd of students, but upstairs in Montana Hall, history. Waded Cruzado, the first woman president of the university.
Hopefully there will come a time when having a woman in a position of responsibility, it's not a piece of news. It's something normal.
Born and raised in Puerto Rico.
In a family where I was the first person to have an opportunity to go to college.
Waded Cruzado found herself leading MSU by way of enchantment.
All of a sudden, I went to my interview there, and imagine Puerto Rico is known as the island of enchantment. Okay. And lo and behold, I arrived to New Mexico, the land of enchantment. So I thought I was crossing the twilight zone, right?
Serving as the interim president of New Mexico State from 2008 until 2009.
Until Montana State University came calling, and the rest is history.
That was in 2010. Now the 12th president in MSU history, Cruzado became a crusader for innovation and helping others succeed.
It's not about the lonely leader just doing things by himself or herself. We are the ones who need to identify talent and to tell people, I know you can do this. Or sometimes you need to say, I need your help. And that's when it happens. That's when the magic happens.
Over the last decade, MSU reached unprecedented levels of success, setting enrollment records with almost 15,500 students for spring 2018, which is up from 12,000 in 2010 when Cruzado assumed the presidency, and expanding student opportunities. In 2011, the university secured the largest private donation in the history of the Montana University system, $25 million from alumnus Jake Jabs to the College of Business.
Will fundamentally change the experience of generations of students in our business program.
Then, the university doubled that donation record when another alumnus, Norm Asbjornson, donated $50 million for the College of Engineering.
An innovative laboratory and classroom facility that will empower our students and faculty in collaborative, hands-on learning and leadership.
Cruzado says the growth in fundraising is all part of her vision.
But to be in class and in the lab and in the field, learning from the successes and the mistakes of our faculty and researchers, so that they learn by doing, so that they learn that sometimes you fail, and then it's important for you to be resilient and to come back.
Resiliency, a theme Cruzado wants every woman to embrace.
Accept the fact that you have talents.
From being the first-generation college student to earning her PhD, now serving as president of university, Cruzado never thought she would be sitting where she is now. But the significance of her position has not been lost.
And when I saw the faces of young girls or young women, right, telling me how important it was for them that there was a woman in that position, then it dawned on me, right, that it was that I needed to do it in a very special way, so that they feel proud, but that they also feel that this is something that women normally do.
In Bozeman, Mackenzie Frost, MTN News.